In this video, we are going to explore the trajectory of an unhappy employee, the signs that you could use a change, and what you can start to do today in order to start moving in a new direction. Hey everyone, I'm Alex. I'm a former 9-to-5er turned life coach, and I'm here to help you start your dream biz so that you can leave your 9-to-5 and start living the life you dream of. So last week I talked about how we end up on the path in life where we go to university and eventually make our way into the corporate working world. So this week I want to continue our journey along the conveyor belt of life and talk about what it's like once we're actually in the corporate working world. And if you clicked on this video, then you, like myself, may have found yourself a few years into your job and it's starting to not feel right. So here's what my trajectory in the working world looked like. For me, I didn't really get the feeling that something was off with my work and career until I was about 4 years into the working world. And I think this was because for the first 4 years, I was learning a lot and doing a lot of different types of projects, and that really kept things fun and exciting. And it wasn't really until around year 4 of working that the realities of the corporate world really started to become apparent to me. The stress of having a billable hourly target was always kind of looming in the back of my mind, and the corporate ladder and hierarchical nature of corporate life was really becoming apparent to me. And I was really now starting to see the path that was kind of expected of me to follow as my career progressed. And that looked like gaining more knowledge, becoming more senior, starting to do less technical work, which is what I found fun, and starting to manage people and manage clients. And I was really now starting to see the responsibility that would be placed on my shoulders as my career progressed. And for me, that wasn't responsibility that I was interested in having. And on top of those things in the workplace, I was also starting to feel like my life was really out of balance. I felt like I was always kind of rushing to work, going to work, and then coming home and spending a lot of my time recuperating or doing general adulting things like chores, cooking, cleaning, etc. And I was eating out a lot more than I would have liked because I just felt rushed and like I didn't have time to cook from home. And I was also using sugar and caffeine as sort of coping mechanisms to give me energy throughout the day. So I really was feeling this compounded effect of stress and a lack of fulfillment at work and my life at home and my health feeling just unbalanced. So having said all that, let's talk about a few signs that something may need to change for you at work. And as you listen to this list, you may be tempted to say that those are just a part of normal work life. That's how everyone feels. But I would like to argue that they aren't normal, and just because everyone around you kind of accepts them doesn't mean that you need to accept it as well. So the first sign is that you don't enjoy the work. Maybe you find it stressful or tedious, or you just find it plain uninspiring. The second one may go without saying, but maybe you're just not making the income that you desire to make. And maybe you're tired of working overtime and generally hustling in order to prove yourself to make more money at year-end bonuses or when it comes time for a raise. The third sign that something may be not working for you is your boss. So either your boss, your supervisor, or the senior leadership team where you work just aren't a good fit for you. The fourth thing to look at is your career trajectory. So maybe you look 4 or 5 years down the road at where your career will be if nothing changes right now, and that doesn't excite you. And the last sign is the lifestyle. So maybe you want more freedom in your life. Maybe you want to feel more balanced. Maybe you want to focus on your health and have more time to be active or cook meals at home or do other things. Or maybe you just want to work less and have more work-life balance. So those are my 5 signs, but if anything else is coming up for you that just isn't working and that is maybe nagging in the back of your mind, definitely consider that as well. Now that you've identified one or more aspects of your career that aren't working, here's what you can do to start moving forward today. And the way that you move forward will really depend on what isn't working for you right now. So if you've identified that the work that you are doing isn't lighting you up, then what would light you up? And is there a way for you to start doing that type of work within your current position? Or is there a way for you to pivot into a different position within your company that will allow you to do the type of work that you want to do? Do you need to find a new job so that you can start doing the work that you want to do? Or do you need to go back and get more education and training in order to completely pivot your career into work that would be more fulfilling? And if you want to make more money, then consider what else goes along with that you might want. If you simply want to just make more money, then maybe it's time to consider how you can get a promotion and make more money within your current company. Or you could consider job hopping and negotiating for a higher salary at a new position. Or you could consider starting a side hustle. And if you want to make more money, but you're also interested in the possibility of working less, then maybe you start considering becoming your own boss. Because with time and systems in place, in the long run, you can work less over time. If your boss makes you miserable at work every day, then maybe it's time to start thinking about how you can be transferred to a new department or a new role within your current company. Or maybe it's time to consider getting a new job entirely and finding a new manager or boss that's a better fit for you. And if your career trajectory isn't exciting for you, then it's really time to start thinking about what would be exciting in the next 5 to 10 years. Where do I want to be in the next 5 to 10 years? And if you're someone who falls into the kind of lifestyle category, you want more balance, maybe more work-life balance, or you want to be able to focus on yourself more, then start to get curious about how you can make that happen. If you like the work that you're doing and you like who you're working for, but you're just feeling out of balance at work right now, maybe you can negotiate to go down to a part-time role and stay within your current position. Maybe you can negotiate to go down to, say, 20 hours a week. And that's, of course, if your finances will allow for that option. And if you're someone who knows that they're ready to be out of the whole 9-to-5 work structure, then it's time to start thinking about how you can transition to being your own boss. So maybe this looks like starting to take baby steps into entrepreneurship by starting a side hustle while you remain in your job. And if in the last step you came up with things that you could think of that I hadn't mentioned already, then start to ask yourself the following questions around that topic. Ask yourself, what isn't working right now with that thing that you identified? And ask yourself why you think it isn't working. And this is usually linked to our values, and maybe you have a value that isn't being expressed right now, and that's why it isn't working. So for example, for me, the restrictive structure of the 9-to-5 work week, working 40 hours a week and kind of being told when and where to work for 40 hours of my life just didn't work with my personal value of freedom. So once you know what isn't working and maybe why it isn't working for you, start to think about what might work instead. And once you have an idea of what might work as an alternative or something to work towards, ask yourself how you can start making moves towards that change today. What needs to change in order for that to happen? What do I need to start adding to my life? Or what do I need to start removing or saying no to in order to make that happen? So there you have it, everyone. We've talked about the trajectory of a corporate employee and kind of how we start to realize we're unhappy in our careers. We've talked about some of the signs that something needs to change, and we've talked about what you can start to do to move in a new direction. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by giving the video a like and leaving me a comment down in the description. I love hearing back from you, what you're working on or what you'd like to hear from in future videos. And if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel for weekly videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video.